Melbourne's Tullamarine International Airport. Directly behind me is Terminal 1, a dedicated terminal for Qantas and QantasLink's flights, not only in Victoria, but to the rest of Australia. If you haven't already guessed it by the video title, today we will be flying on that aircraft's replacement, the Airbus A220, as we fly on the inaugural flight to Canberra.
Let's do something a bit different. Melbourne is Australia's most populous city, surpassing Sydney by only 20,000 people. Melbourne is renowned for its coffee culture, with countless cafes lining its streets. The city hosts major international events including the Australian Open tennis tournament and the Formula One Grand Prix. With its friendly locals and emphasis on quality of life, Melbourne consistently ranks as one of the world's most livable cities. The name Melbourne was named in honour of the British Prime Minister William Lamb, 2nd Viscount Melbourne. Whilst flying down to Melbourne this morning on Jetstar, I learned from the woman sitting beside me that Melbourne's original Aboriginal name is Naarm, which honestly sounds a whole lot more cooler than Melbourne does. As stated in my introduction, today we will be flying on board QantasLink's first ever A220 jet service bound for Canberra. Terminal 1 here at Melbourne is a dedicated Qantas and QantasLink only terminal. In my findings, the check-in area for Qantas is so large that for more than half the time, most of the check-in area is deserted. Qantas has installed many bag drop facilities and check-in kiosks, which in my opinion are absolute rubbish, as you need to check in online to use them, and if you don't have a Q tag like I do, you are faced with no other option. I instead opted for a face-to-face check-in as it feels more personal and I wanted to get a good quality boarding pass, especially for today's flight. As I hold Qantas Silver status, I am invited to use the priority check-in lane. Once I had checked in, I made my way towards the centre of the check-in area, which is where security is located, and has a dedicated priority lane for business class passengers and passengers with status. Post security has since been renovated, and now there is a fairly decently sized food court with bars, cafes and restaurants, which is a much more welcome change to the wall that used to be there. After clearing security, I made my way towards my gate for today's flight. Melbourne's Terminal 1 is shaped like the letter U, with 30 gates spread across both arms, with gates on either side. More often than not, QantasLink flights depart from gates 25 to 30, but every so often you do get a flight from gate 24. However, for today's special flight, we shall be using gate 22. As I was walking to the gate, I got my first glimpse of today's aircraft, which is an Airbus A220-300, registered as Victor Hotel X-Ray 4 Bravo. She rolled off the assembly line in Montreal, Canada, and was painted in the standard QantasLink livery, being delivered brand new to QantasLink in January 2024, making this aircraft barely 2 months old. This particular aircraft is nicknamed Koala. Continuing onwards to the gate, gates 11, 12, 21 and 23 are used for wide-body aircraft, such as the A330s, and the rest are used by Qantas's 737s and 717s. Surprisingly, before boarding, no ceremony was held, nor were any speeches given by Qantas representatives or management. I was a little bit disappointed, but hey, it's more time to focus on the flight. Boarding today commenced on time from gate 22. QantasLink's Airbus A220s are in a two-class configuration with 10 business class seats laid out in a 2-2 layout and 127 economy class seats laid out in a 2-3 configuration. Today I shall be seated in 18 Foxtrot. The economy class seat has 30 inches of pitch and 18 inches of width. There is a standard tray table that folds down and extends, large enough for a laptop or eating. In the seat back pocket, you'll find a safety card, magazine, and 2 air sickness bags. Above this is a device holder suitable for tablets and phones. Besides the device holder is 2 USB ports. Above are individual reading lights, air vents, and a flight attendant call button. The whole seat kinda reminds me of Jetstar's Airbus A321neos. However, these seats have much better padding and comfort. Handed out during the boarding process are small Qantas branded bags with a bunch of goodies inside, including a small sugar cookie, a QantasLink lanyard, a thank you card, and obviously the most important, a 1:200 scale model of the very aircraft we're flying on, which is really cool.
Hello everyone. We'd like to ask for attention for just a few moments as the crew take you through the safety briefing.
Soon we commenced our pushback from gate 22, 5 minutes behind schedule.
Today you're flying on a QantasLink Airbus A220. Here are a few points on how your seatbelt works. Fasten your seatbelt by inserting the clasp into the buckle and tighten by pulling the strap. Undo your seatbelt by lifting the buckle flap. You must have your seat legs. Take a moment now to locate your exit as the cabin crew point them out. To remember your nearest exit, count the rows between you and that exit. Let one of the crew know and avoid moving your seat. Before takeoff, ensure your armrest is down, your seat back is upright, and your tray table is stowed. Electronic devices should not be placed on the seat back device.
We taxied to runway 16 via Tango, Quebec, Echo, Alpha and Bravo.
1266, line up runway 16.
Now please enjoy this unedited takeoff. After takeoff, we turned right over the western suburbs of Melbourne, setting a northeasterly course towards Canberra. Flight time today is 44 minutes, covering a distance of 326 miles or 524 kilometres, cruising very briefly at 31,000 feet. Once underway, we flew directly over Tullamarine Airport, and in the distance was Essendon Fields Airport, as well as Melbourne's Central Business District. QantasLink's A220s have complimentary Wi-Fi on board, enabling everyone to connect to the internet. There is also an entertainment app available featuring a wide variety of the latest movies, TV shows and games, all released within the last 3 to 6 months. I completely ignored the app, however, as I was more focused on the flight itself. Whilst waiting for the crew to begin the in-flight service, down below we passed by the very small town of Alexandra, just east of Melbourne. Eventually, the crew reached my row, and on today's flight I was given a pear and lemon myrtle slice, as well as a can of lemonade. The lemon wasn't very overpowering as I was expecting it to be, and there were very subtle hints of the pear being present. The lemonade was, well, lemonade. It tasted great. Later in the distance was the tiny New South Wales town of Corryong, just next to the nearby snowy mountain range. On board QantasLink's Airbus A220s are 3 bathrooms, one for business behind the cockpit and 2 at the back for economy, featuring everything you'd typically expect to find. However, this bathroom is unique as the bathroom is very large, especially for this aircraft size. Soon we commenced our descent into Canberra. Descending into Canberra, we were met with some moderate turbulence and stunning visuals of the mountains to the east. I was struggling to comprehend how quickly this flight went. It was almost over quicker than it started. Our flight path into Canberra followed the valley situated just south of the airport, following the standard Menzies arrival, giving me a great view of Queanbeyan, which is a suburb in New South Wales, but it's basically Canberra. Now please enjoy this unedited landing. After landing, we taxied back to the terminal via Foxtrot and Bravo.
We pay respects to
We pulled into Gate 9, 8 minutes behind schedule. As I stepped off the aircraft and said one final goodbye to the crew, I made my way inside the terminal whilst thinking about the entire experience on board QantasLink's newest aircraft. QantasLink operates a fleet consisting of turboprop and regional jet aircraft, catering to both leisure and business travellers. The airline service extends to a wide variety of destinations across Eastern Australia. including regional airports and communities that may not be served by other airlines. Flying on board the QantasLink inaugural flight today was an eye-opener as to how well Qantas can operate when done efficiently. Qantas stated a while ago that filming on board their aircraft was no longer permitted due to the privacy of the crew and passengers. However, today, during the flight, not a single passenger was told off for filming. Understandably so, as this flight was heavily covered by not only myself, but the likes of Rory Ding, Paul Stewart and Aviation 763. Getting to meet them was one of the coolest and most interesting experiences I've had on board, as it's not often I get to see someone else covering the same flight as me. I would definitely like to go flying with them again, if they ever wanted to, or if we had similar itineraries. Who knows, one day in the future it could well possibly happen. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, comment and subscribe. Make sure to push that notification bell if you enjoy my content, as I post new videos every Friday at 8 PM Sydney time. And I hope to see you again in the next one. See you later!